I'm Valarie, and I talk about higher ways of thinking of all subjects of life, focusing on the spiritual aspects. Thanks for being here. I wanted to get into a message that I've been sitting on for a couple days, and it's kind of a message for other people that's kind of like a message for my own life that I feel called to share, okay? So, I made a video a couple days ago or so about, how things were feeling really heavy, but that you have to keep moving forward because life moves forward no matter how heavy of an experience you're going through. You still got to keep pushing forward through those heavy emotions. So the name of that video was something along the lines of trudging through the mud to your next destination. So anyway, as I was so it was time to go back to work, and as I was heading back to work, the universe, spirit, God, your angels, whatever you go by, whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. It's something bigger than us. It's something unconditionally loving, something that knows all, right? I got a message on the radio from a radio show host. It wasn't like a personal message, but it felt personal. And it was because it's so crazy too, because I would have never heard this message. So my daughter recently broke my phone, and I usually listen to like YouTube or Spotify on my phone on the way to work. So through the Bluetooth for my phone. But since I didn't have it, I just, opted to listening to the radio. So as I was listening to the radio, as soon as I dialed it to a certain radio station, I can't remember what radio station it was. But anyway, the guy's talking, and he's specifically talking to chosen ones, which just means there's a lot of controversy about people calling themselves chosen ones, but it's a real thing, you guys. It's people that choose, right, to break generational patterns, people that choose to do the work in this life, people that choose to help others. They're, the first in their family to be a millionaire, or they're, the first in their family to marry outside of the race or something like that, right? Like they're doing something different. They're paving the path for the future generations. They're leaving behind a legacy that's changing the world for the better. These are people that are the chosen people, right? The people that are just not doing those things, the total opposite of whatever, doing those things are. He was talking about them, and he was talking about chosen ones. So he pretty much said, heavy is the person that wears the crown, right? So when you take on that for your life, when you take on being a chosen one and pursuing something different than your ancestors, or breaking generational curses, or being the first of something in your family, it is not going to be easy. It's going to be heavy, because you are metaphorically, right, wearing a crown of honor from your ancestors. Like, hey, you are going to be the one to take on this. You're going to do this. It's not going to be easy, but we know that you're capable of doing it. With much power comes great responsibility, much responsibility, right? With much power comes great responsibility, Spider-Man. That's true, right? So he was also saying, would you rather be the person that's asking for money, or would you rather be the person that people ask for money? Is it annoying to have people ask you for money if they know that you have money, right? Oh, could I get this amount of money for this, or this, right? So he was talking about himself. He said that he has people that ask him for a lot of favors because of where he is, the status that he holds in his life, right? He worked really hard to be a radio show host and get to where he is. And yeah, people just want to like come in, ask him for things instead of doing the work themselves. They want to ask for easy handouts, easy favors. So he said, even though, it can be irritating and annoying, for people to always constantly be asking him for stuff, he realizes, though, that he would rather be the one that people are asking for stuff from than be the one that's asking for stuff. right? Because those are the people that they're just refusing to do something more with their life. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person or anything. That just makes the difference between somebody that has, you know, their life is gonna be heavier with certain things because they're taking more on for their life, right? They want to leave something better behind, so that means that you're gonna have to take on a lot more. You're gonna sacrifice a lot more. You're gonna have to learn a lot more. You're gonna have to experience a lot more than someone who wants to stay in their comfort zone. Um, and we've all been there. There's no judgment. We're all in our own pace in this life, in our own journey. There is no set way, even though the world tries to tell us that there is a set way. At the end of the day, like I say, and I know my soul, like I've been through things. My soul came here to experience the things that I've experienced. And I know that now. I didn't understand that before, right? You think the world's out to get you, this or that, like you self-pity, wallowing in your depths of your sorrow, like but your soul came here to experience those hard lessons. That's what your soul wanted to do, because it's going to help, because you're going to alchemize from that experience and turn it into something greater for your life. That's what people got to understand, because we also came here to alchemize, turn pain into power, turn pain into purpose. It's something that we all came here to learn, if, of course, if you're willing to. But I feel that it's much better to alchemize than to, you know, repeat the pain onto somebody else, right? Because we see that done time and time again, where people hurt people, end up hurting people because they refuse to alchemize their own pain. They refuse to look within at their own life experiences and ask, what did this teach me? How can I grow from this? And it's not easy. It's heavy. Okay, it's like trudging through the mud in boots and shoes that are not meant for the mud. But the only way you can get to the other side of the mud, where there's a field of roses and beautiful flowers, is to get through the mud. So really, the main message that I wanted to say, there was one thing that I wanted to say specifically about this. Let's see if my mind can recollect it. Do 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 do. All right, let me see. That's not helping. What was that last thing? There was like one main thing that I was gonna say. I got it. I'm gonna leave you guys off on this, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. Okay, so my living situation, like a year and a half ago, was, you know, I was in a living situation that I didn't want to be in. It was rough. Let's just put it like that, right? And all I wanted for like 5 years, I was working on myself, putting in a lot of work on myself, and trying my hardest to make a plan of how I was going to move out of there, and trying to manifest myself moving out of there. And I ended up moving out, right? That's where I live now. I ended up getting my own place, which is a wish fulfillment, which is something that I manifested, and that's something that I wanted, something that I worked really hard for, okay? As well as I ended up also upgrading my car, which kind of just happened as well. I kind of like how that happened versus how the house thing happened, but sometimes it happens a way that you don't expect, right? But regardless, I'm here, right? And my car, but we're going to focus on the house, okay? Because that was a big one for me. I could have still stayed with the same car, but I did need a new car. But anyway, so the house situation, you guys, listen up, all right? Because this goes for everybody. If sometimes sometimes it can be really heavy, because as I mentioned before, if you guys been here on the channel for a while, or if you guys are new to the channel, I am a single mom of 3 kids. So I am mother and father in this household. So I do everything, right? I work and I nurture and I take care of the home, right? I pay the bills, I do everything. So having all that responsibility on me, having a home to take care of, right? So paying for the home, the bills that come with the home. Me having the money to pay to live on my own with my kids is also a manifestation. So I am living in a manifestation of something that I was manifesting for 5 years, you guys. And sometimes I can get very down about it. Like, oh man, I have all this responsibility. Like, I'm tired. Like, all my, like, whatever, my whole check is going to paying my living expenses. But at the end of the day, what this guy was also saying in the radio station that hit me, and it was a message for me, because I would have never heard his message if my phone was not broken by my daughter. I didn't have a phone. I was on my way to work listening to this, and he was speaking directly to me, and he probably didn't even know it, but he knows who he's speaking to. You know what I mean? He knows he's speaking to people on the radio who are listening, and I tuned in just in time to hear that message. And let me tell you, he said pretty much that don't forget that about the blessings that you are blessed with now that you used to pray for. Don't take them for granted. It might be difficult, right? Like, let's say you ask for a business. Oh, I want like a multi-million-dollar business. So now you're experiencing what life is like as a multi-million-dollar business, and it's a lot, right? It's something new. It's something new for you. It's very time consuming. You have to hire people. You have to manage people. You have to pay this bill. You have to do this. You have to do that. But it's a wish fulfilled. It's a prayer that is answered. So sometimes we need to draw ourselves back, ground it back into reality, and remember that we prayed for this. Is it difficult? Is it hard? Yes. Doesn't mean that it always is going to be, but you asked for this, so heavy is that person that wears the crown. You wanted that. You got it. Now it's your chance to prove yourself. With all that being said, I hope you guys found something that resonated with you in this message. And just remember that I know that sometimes life has this thing that we call emotions that's part of this physical experience, and I know that they can be really heavy, but just, have a greater self-awareness of the fact that maybe those feelings, those heavy feelings, are something that you asked for, but you didn't even realize that you asked for, because it just comes with, right, what you asked for. If that makes sense. Like, the heaviness of being the one that pays all the bills and takes care of the house on my own is something that I asked for. It doesn't mean that my life's always going to be this way. Now that I'm in this point, now I'm asking for something else now, right? I'm asking for, in the future, I hope that I have the help that I need. I actually do want a bigger house, but I don't want to have the responsibility of cleaning up on my own. So maybe at that point, my kids will be older and help me clean up. So it's just like, don't think that this is just where it stops. As long as you keep on working on yourself and you're trying to manifest, you're going to achieve everything, right? I have my manifestation board behind me. And I did have, like, one of them's already manifesting. One of them I did manifest, but then I unmanifested it. It was a debt-free one. And then after that, I have debt again. But, according to my astrology, I'm someone that's going to be in debt. So anyway, but all right, you guys, sorry for any background noise that you guys may have heard. Like I said, I have my kids here and they can be kind of loud sometimes. But anyway, I hope to see you guys in the next video, and thanks so much for watching.